The parking garage on 5th Street was the kind of place people avoided after dark. Flickering fluorescent lights cast jagged shadows across the oil-stained concrete, and the air smelled like rust and old rain. Maya Chen walked quickly, her grocery bags swinging at her sides, keys already threaded between her fingers the way her mother had taught her years ago. She was 50 feet from her car when she heard the footsteps, 3 of them. Young men, maybe early 20s, spreading out in a slow, practiced arc behind her. She recognized the formation the way you recognize a storm before it breaks. Not from sight alone, but from something older, something that lives in the spine. She stopped walking. She turned around. "Last warning," she said quietly. Her voice didn't shake. "Walk away," one of them laughed. The tallest one, with a red jacket and cold eyes, took a step forward. "Or what, lady?" She said nothing more. They rushed her all at once. What happened next lasted 11 seconds. Maya dropped the grocery bags, pivoted left, let the first one's momentum carry him past her, and sent him shoulder first into a concrete pillar. The second swung wide. She slipped under it, grabbed his wrist, and used his own weight to fold him onto the ground. The third stopped cold when he felt a forearm pressed against his throat and realized, with sudden, humbling clarity, that he could not move. "I asked you to walk away," she said softly. She released him. He stumbled backward, eyes wide. All 3 of them ran. Maya picked up her groceries, checked that her eggs hadn't broken, and walked to her car. She didn't think much about it afterward. That was the part nobody understood, that for her it wasn't dramatic. 17 years in the Navy, 8 deployed, 4 as a combat instructor. Her hands knew things her mind had long since made peace with. She had learned to be dangerous the way a surgeon learns to cut, not out of anger, but out of necessity, and always in service of something larger than herself. What she didn't know was that someone had seen everything. A teenage girl named Destiny had been sitting in the back seat of her older sister's parked car, hidden by tinted windows, waiting for her sister to return from a late shift at the pharmacy 2 floors up. Destiny was 15, quiet, and had spent the last 3 months being tormented by a group at school. Followed home, shoved in hallways, her locker spray-painted with words she was still trying to forget. She had started believing in the deep and wordless way that teenagers believe things, that she was someone things happened to, that the world sorted people into the strong and the small, and she had already been assigned her place. But she had just watched a woman with grocery bags dismantle 3 attackers in 11 seconds, then calmly check on her eggs. Destiny got out of the car. "Excuse me," she called out. Maya turned. The girl was walking toward her fast, like she was afraid she'd lose her nerve. "How did you do that?" Maya looked at her for a moment. She'd spent enough time around young people in crisis to recognize the real question underneath the surface one. It wasn't about technique. It wasn't about fighting. "How long have they been following you?" Maya asked. Destiny blinked. Then her face crumpled, just for a second, before she pulled it back together. 3 months. Maya set her groceries on the hood of her car. "What's your name?" "Destiny. I'm Maya." She paused. "Do you want to learn?" "Not just how to fight, though that came later, on Saturday mornings in the gym Maya rented with 2 other veterans who ran free self-defense programs for women and girls in the city. What Maya taught first was something harder and more important, that your body belongs to you. That fear is information, not identity. That the difference between a person who freezes and a person who acts is almost never talent, it's practice, and the belief, earned through repetition, that you are worth defending. Destiny came every Saturday for 6 months. She was not a natural. She was slow, and she telegraphed her movements, and she cried twice in the first month from frustration. Maya never once made her feel small for it. She simply said each time, "Again," and meant it as an invitation rather than a demand. The morning Destiny stopped 3 girls from cornering a younger kid behind the school bleachers, not with her hands, but with her voice, her posture, and the unmistakable stillness of someone who has stopped being afraid of being seen. She called Maya from the parking lot, hands shaking. "I didn't even have to touch them," she said. "They just left." Maya was quiet for a moment. When she spoke, her voice carried something that wasn't quite pride, but lived in the same neighborhood. "That's the whole point," she said. "The goal was never the fight. The goal was always you walking away without one." Destiny sat down on the curb and let out a breath she felt like she'd been holding for years. The afternoon light fell across the empty bleachers, and somewhere in the ordinary silence of a Tuesday, something inside her quietly, permanently shifted.